Heads up, guys, I had to mute the video because it had copyright music playing in the background. But just follow along with what's going on. All right? So these are couples, grocery shopping. Let's start it back from the beginning so we can get the full understanding. So follow along. He's literally reaching in the bag, taking out the fruit that she already put in the bag, and she's saying, no, this is no good. So I guess they did a social experiment. And what they came up with is that basically what the ladies are doing is fruit they already selected and deemed as quality fruit. Now, when their man suggests it or offers it up, they're basically being subjective and they're not being objective. And they're pretending like they're analyzing it. You see what she just did? But really, I guess they just want to be the expert in this domain. So they're having to exert that they know what they're doing, basically. So it's not going to go much longer, but let's just finish it through. All right. So interesting, right? But let's talk about this, y'all. Let's talk about this. And I know y'all thought that I was going to talk about the husband and the wife dynamic in this video. I know that's what y'all are really hoping for. But nah, that's too easy. And that's too obvious as well. And what I really want to talk about in this video is discernment. And especially for my fellas, because it's not just about relationships. I actually feel like this is a microcosm of what really happens in life, whether it's jobs, whether it's organizations, whether it's social circles. And when you don't trust your own discernment, what will happen is the world will confuse you about your own identity. So let me break this down for y'all. The wife picks something. The husband brings her the same exact item, and suddenly it's no good. I don't just look at this as a joke, y'all. I really see this as a metaphor. Metaphor for what? Well, that's what happens when you know something is solid, something feels right. Your instincts are telling you something, but then someone, whether it's your boss, whether it's your friends, whether it's your partner, they try to convince you otherwise, and then you believe them. You stop trusting your own eyes and you start second guessing. You know what is quality, but now you don't know what's up. Now you don't know what's true. And really, you start doubting yourself, is ultimately what I'm saying. And here's what nobody really likes to admit, y'all. Most people are biased. And as you just see in this video, but it relates to all people, most people are not objective and they're insecure and they're coping and they're protecting their image or their status or their ego. So they'll twist what's right in front of you just so that they can feel a little bit taller. And if you're not aware, if you're not grounded and you're drifting, not able to think objectively for yourself, then you will shrink just to fit into their version of reality. And that is why over here at the Limitless Legion, I teach that discernment is not just a catchy phrase, it's a life skill, y'all. And it's not just in relationships, but it's also in even how you handle feedback. and how you accept advice, and whether you believe your own vision, even when others don't see it yet. So let me ask you guys this. What if you actually deserved that promotion, but maybe your manager might have felt threatened? What if they told you you're not ready? You still got work to do. You just don't have the skill set. This just might not be for you, but not because it was actually true, but because they actually just couldn't handle your rise. Now, picture this. What if you believed them? What if you took that to the bank and cashed it for a lifetime? So now you start thinking smaller of yourself, working smaller, dreaming smaller. And worse, now you even doubt yourself, even though you were right. You actually were a fit for that promotion. You were the one that deserved it the most. But this is how people start to lose themselves. Not all at once, but one second guess at a time. So here's a real message that I took from this whole little social experiment that they did. You need to know if your judgment is rooted in objectivity. Why? Because you can't just you can't try to use other people's eyes. If it's rooted in objectivity, then you can trust it. You can stand on it. But we must discern that for ourselves because most people are lying to themselves. And when people lie to themselves, they're definitely going to lie to you too, just in order for them to keep their worldview intact. And yes, I'm not saying don't take constructive criticism. Take constructive criticism. Yes, be open to growth, but don't be naive, y'all. Filter it, discern it. Ask yourself, does this person benefit from me shrinking? Is this advice that they're giving me does this benefit them in any way? For me to think smaller of myself? Could they be projecting their fear onto me or actually trying to help me? Is this coming from truth or is it coming from their ego? And guess what? In most cases, guys, you will know. Why? Because the truth does resonate. And it will resonate. Even if it's just a little, even if it's a lot, it will resonate in some way. If it stings, it might sit right. But if it just really feels completely off, then you got to take that with a grain of salt and you got to keep it moving. I'm not saying that people won't still be able to take you off track, but we can't help them do this. All right. So listen, I want you guys understanding this. You have to work harder on yourself than you do on anything else. You have to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. You have to work harder on yourself than you do on your relationship. You have to work harder on yourself than you do on that $1 million goal. Because if you're off, everything you build is going to be off. But if you're centered, if you're aligned, and if you're focused, no matter how wild the world gets and what other people try to project on you, you'll still be able to navigate it with clarity and with precision. So don't you ever let somebody else's insecurity rewire your compass. And you need to protect your discernment like your life depends on it. Because in a world this confusing, guys, sometimes it really does. So I'll leave it there. I need you guys to like the video. That's got to be automatic. If you want to join the Limitless Legion, subscribe to the channel. Also, Cash App is linked in the description if you want to tip the channel. Buy your boy iced coffee and join the Patreon. Should start having some videos up there soon. That's going to be a different level of quality. But you guys know I'm going to deliver. So, catch you guys in the next video.